Adrian. I'm the second affirmative, and I'll be reinforcing my partner Danielle's claims that that consumers want the right to choose to see what goes in their food. From the source, downtoearth.org, a 2003 poll by ABC News that showed that huge majorities of Americans are in favor of mandatory labeling. 92% are for genetically modified foods and 85% for food from farm animals that have been fed hormones or antibiotics. A 2007 study of a 2007 University of Houston study indicates that the people want a choice. They surveyed a population, and 90% surveyed supported the labeling of GM foods. 68% indicated that such labeling was needed, and 50% of them felt that not labeling GM food products was a violation of the consumer's rights. There's also a very large percentage of crops that are already genetically modified. From greenmedinfo.org, it states that 85 to 95% of major crops are genetically modified. This includes corn, soy, sugar, canola, and cotton. And at least one of these crops are found in all processed foods. Labeling food should also be common sense. From Reuters.com, they say that a bill. Consumers want to know that their food is pure. In USA Today, they pull a study from the National Academies of Science, which includes over 900 studies and over 20 years worth of data to prove that GMO foods are not harmful. However, it states that consumers are not looking for evidence that proves that their food isn't harmful. They just want to know that the food is non-GMO. If citizens find out that there are potential dangers of GM foods, they can change the company's sales and labeling on their foods. From ResponsibleTechnology.org in Europe, an example of this in Europe in 1999, a high-profile GMO safety scandal hit the pages and alerted citizens to potential dangers. A similar situation occurred in the U.S., and a consumer rebellion occurred against the GM bovine growth hormone, which is found in all dairy products. Major companies including Walmart, Starbucks, Dannon, and Yoplait have kicked out the cow drugs out of their products due to this. A simple disclosure can also improve consumer attitudes towards GMO foods. From ScienceDaily.com, a study from the University of Vermont in June 2018, the analysis shows that opposition to GMO food fell by 90% after the implementation of mandatory labels. Legislation S-764 allows for mandatory labeling on foods as well. ScienceMag.com cites the legislation saying that food manufacturers are required to use one of the 3 different labels to inform consumers of the presence of GMOs in products. For the inherency claim, labeling non-GMO foods will not raise much of the state cost. From the Ballotpedia.org, for Proposition 37 in California in 2012, the increased annual state cost for labeling foods would only range from a few $100,000 to over $1 million. The current budget of California is about $130 billion. This doesn't even equal close to 1% of California's budget.